why should business leaders invest in building an in-house creative team? I know we talked a lot
Say
about
again,
that.
why should
Business leaders invest in building in-house creative teams? Why bringing creativity to the core of business?
Where do I start?
That's key.
I know.
I think it's so smart. I mean, I think that there's so many different ways of accessing creativity, right? The creativity, there's always going to be people and businesses who find it valuable to pay for creativity. And I think what's the beauty of being a modern marketer is you have so many more tools and so many more ways to access talent and creativity. And I think that it's important, there's a lot that you can do better in-house. And I do believe in the importance of occasionally go get some outside fresh perspective or some sort of killer team that you couldn't normally get. You don't have enough projects to keep them on staff always, but you just find like some sharpshooters once in a while from the outside. But the institutional knowledge, the instant feedback on something is going to work or not. I mean, agencies can spend 2 or 3 weeks developing something and they bring it to you and you've done it before, or you know that the technology won't work or whatever. Like now I sit here and when agencies present stuff to me, I'm like, oh, if I had only known when I wasn't an agency person that so much of those ideas are going to be unusable. Right. And so what you do as a marketer is you get rid of all of that time spent on all the unusable ideas. Everything is informed correctly about the product. Everything has the institutional knowledge about what's worked before. And you have that team that can react instantly to changes in product, that can iterate when you get data back about some product, something that's not working. You can instantly act on it. You don't have to wait for the client, the brief, with the agency. I think there's so much that we can do better in-house. But I also think it's important to, at least if you're our size, we don't have a frequent enough cadence of really big, splashy briefs that it would make sense for us to have a large overhead staff of rock star creatives. So we have what I like to say, we have a very small stable of Arabian horses, and then we have a wider team of really, really strong day-to-day quarter horses. And then once in a while, I want that fresh perspective of an agency that's done a certain thing well, like when you brought in Gut. And we're doing a lot with data, so we're bringing in an agency that I just think does amazing stuff with data. But for certain things, right? We're bringing them in for a cocktail, not for the entire meal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would also add that the most valuable thing, I believe, I mean, you guys could talk to my bosses, but that I believe that I've brought to Google is, and being a creative inside the company, is just a truth. Like I can't not tell, or it's all over my face if I hate an idea, or I feel passionate, I'm jumping up and down excited. So, and I think that that's maybe stood out a little bit there's a refinement with a lot of these, pedigree marketers that they're so good. And I can be so wrong or so good. And it's like there's a spectrum, but I think that I can sometimes unlock or just sort of explode a conversation by just kind of my sort of truth about my feelings and how I think it's going to resonate in a market or not. And that's, I think, been useful. So I think that having creatives next to marketers has, for us, been such a good partnership because it's the rational analytical and that amazing brain mixed with the unpredictable kind of what the fuck moments that creatives have. And so that's been really fun. And I think we now pair our VPs of marketing with creative directors. Like we have these little kind of pods and they walk into meetings, whether it's with a retailer or a partner, and they can give such different feedback and all get to a good place because they're approaching it so differently. And I watched marketers, agency side, sometimes struggle on set. Maybe they're a junior brand manager and they've never been on set and they're uncomfortable and they don't know who a grip is. And so it's also nice to be on the same team and kind of help each other through this and educate as we go and saying, tools that marketers may not know. Like, they may not know every, nth degree of visual effects, nor should they, and I can help kind of handhold a little bit through it. So it's not scary. They still get what they want, but there's someone on their side that's kind of protective and also a partner to get to the kind of work that they're all proud of. Because I know what the buttons to push, they know what the objective is, and I know how to kind of help steer.